Hi, I'm Adrian Allen, Digital Storyteller here at Microsoft UK. Today we're sitting down with Derrick McCourt, Head of Public Sector here at Microsoft UK. We'll be talking a little bit about digital transformation and how that's landing in the sector across government, health, and education. Welcome.
Hi.
So can you talk a little bit about your role here at Microsoft?
Yes, so I run our public sector business. So I have a team of people dotted all across the country who look after customers of all sizes in the public sector. I often describe my business as my biggest customers are the likes of HMRC and the Ministry of Defence, and my smallest customer is the tiniest country primary school, and then everything in between.
So when you look across government, health, and education, what's currently top of mind for the UK's public sector leaders?
Every one of our customers is facing disruption of some type. It varies from sector to sector. Everybody is certainly expected to do more with less. So the demands from citizens on public sector services have never been greater, and the pressure on the public purse and the level of accountability expected from the public has never been greater. So me and my team just spend a lot of time with customers understanding how technology can help with that challenge.
You mentioned driving down costs, and certainly austerity is something that a lot of the sectors having to deal with. Can you see budget cuts being both a barrier and an enabler?
We're not talking about 5-year return on investment cycles anymore with customers. We're talking about how can we help them rip cost out of the business today in this financial year and deliver a better quality of service at the same time.
But it's more than just cost savings.
Absolutely. So if I look, say, at local government organisations that we're working with, they're trying to create mobile, flexible workforces. Organisations that when they're out dealing with citizens have the right information at their fingertips, so that first of all they can be mobile. They don't have to physically go into an office to get the information that they need to do their job. And of course, when they're with a client who's in a situation of need, they have the right information at their fingertips to provide that service. So our customers are leveraging cloud technology, they're leveraging mobile technology to be able to deliver that kind of service. It's a much better experience for the citizen and a much better experience for the staff member as well, having the right information and having more flexibility in their work style.
So can you give some real world examples of how you see digital transformation with our customers?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually one of the most exciting areas for digital transformation. In primary school, secondary school, up into higher education. The demands, for example, in higher education have never been greater in terms of the expectations of students arriving in an academic institution. They expect to have quality IT services. They expect to be able to bring their own device. They expect to be able to connect to services in that institution, and for them to be of the kind of quality that they're used to in their daily social interactions. Or new millennials think very differently. They don't use email. They're very social in the way that they want to work. So institutions have really had to step up in terms of their game. And again, cloud has been a great way for organisations to make that leap from an old world model of delivering IT to a very cloud-driven model of driven IT, where the services are evergreen. They invest once on that shift to the cloud, and they're able to provide modern technology services in that evergreen fashion forever to the students who are coming in. Yeah, there are lots of great examples. There's lots of digital transformation happening in the public sector. I mean, simple ones that get me excited is where we're making lives easier for public servants. Cambridgeshire Police is a great example where we work with them on creating that mobile, flexible workforce. There's nothing more empowering than a regular bobby on the beat having the right information at their fingertips to be able to do the job, to avoid that constant going back and forward from the station, actually to cut back on physically the number of stations that might be needed in a particular region because we have that genuine mobile police officer. As we work with police forces across the country, giving officers the ability to have body-worn video and using the cloud as a storage mechanism for that video. The cost of storing video and having video as evidence would be prohibitive if it was done in a very traditional data center model. So being able to leverage the cloud for that has again just introduced a new paradigm for policing. I mean, a great example in local government, we worked with Wiltshire Council. They were one of the first early adopters of cloud. And that was an austerity project as well as a citizen engagement project. They have lots of buildings across Wiltshire, and they wanted to reduce the cost to the citizen of that building footfall. So they reduced the number of buildings, but use mobile technology to allow their workers to engage out in the field with citizens. But actually they took the savings and invested them in a large civic centre in the middle of the county in Trowbridge. And it's really exciting when you go in to that facility. It looks like walking into a Starbucks or a Costa or something like that, and you see conversations going on, which are caseworkers working with people in the local community. They're sitting with a mobile device, they have the information available to them to have the conversation that's needed. There are also private, secure rooms if somebody needs to have a very personal conversation, but the whole work style of that organisation has completely changed because of the way they've implemented cloud technology, but they've saved money significantly for the local citizen as well.
Can you talk about the importance of digital literacy in public sector, both current state and future impact?
Yeah, I mean, digital literacy is not just a challenge for the public sector, it's a challenge for the UK all up. If I look at every customer that I talk to, skills is one of the biggest barriers that they have to rolling out this new world of IT. To get the right skills, it's an expensive thing to do, and there may just not be enough skills in their particular local area. For customers in London, it's almost impossible because they're competing with large financial institutions, the big consultancy houses, and so on for the same members of staff. So we see it even in our own business when we go to recruit. We've got 25,000 business partners in the UK who have a challenge getting the right skills. So it's something we've committed to very strongly, that we want to help address that challenge for the UK economy all up. So we've got a number of roles. The first thing is we want to fix things at source. There aren't enough computing science graduates coming out of our universities. It's a number around 15,000 graduates per year. If you think of a country like Poland produces 40,000 computing science graduates a year, India and China each produce 250,000 graduates. So we're losing a competitive advantage in the UK. So that's the first thing. We want to work with our customers in higher education to double the output from those universities. Actually, we want to make our industry a more attractive industry for women. Only 13% of those graduates at the moment are women. So we really want to improve that and make the industry much more attractive. So again, we have a commitment to try and double the percentage over the next 10 years of women coming out of our universities with a computing science degree.
So I see the digital skills being able to help, digital literacy being able to help across all industries. Why specifically in the civil service?
Well, our customers are looking to digitally transform, so simple fact, they need the skills. Many of our customers have become heavily dependent on the contractor marketplace to deliver their IT services, so that's a challenge for them. Many of our customers historically have depended on relationships with outsourcers and are trying to insource back into the organisation so that they own the intelligence in the organisation, the knowledge in the organisation around that digital transformation. So they need skills to do that. The ideas that I talked about in terms of growing the number of computing science graduates, that's not going to fix those problems in the short term for our customers. So the other area that we're very committed to is apprenticeships. As I said earlier, we have 25,000 business partners in the UK, and annually we support them with 5,000 apprenticeships young people who land into their organization, who go through Microsoft training and are an employee, a useful employee from day one in that organization. The demand for that program is massive. So again, we've made a commitment to double those numbers over the next 3 years. That'll be 10,000 apprenticeships going into that program. But that won't just be to the Microsoft partners, that will also be for our customers. So supporting our public sector and our commercial customers to get access to a great talent pool that currently just isn't working in the IT industry. Actually, there's been massive interest from our public sector customers to be a part of that apprenticeship program. The demand is actually coming from our partner community. So there are those 25,000 partners there that can't get the skills that they need to grow their businesses. Microsoft will take their share within that, and of course our customers need the skills as well, so they actually want to land these folks into their organizations as employees within the public sector.
So you say that a technical degree isn't going to fix the problem. How important is it for public sector leaders to have a formal strategy for digital transformation?
Said that 86% of CEOs said that digital transformation was their number one priority. And if you think about all the priorities that a commercial CEO faces, whether it's shifting demographics, whether it's climate change, massive challenges, putting digital transformation as number one in the commercial world is a massive statement in terms of the importance. When I use that statistic to a public sector audience and ask for a show of hands from a set of chief digital officers or chief information officers, whether they think it's the number one priority for their CEO, typically no hands go up in the audience. So there is disruption going on in the world around us. We have digital natives who are now citizens. So digital transformation absolutely has to be part of any public sector organization's overall strategy. So part of the job that we do is supporting chief digital officers, CIOs, to get access to their board, to their organization, and support their chief executive to understand the power of digital and its ability to help them transform. Because genuinely, if you've got a CEO who is a digital leader, we've seen quite incredible things happen within customers.
That was great. Thank you very much. So hopefully it was a very informative discussion about how public sector is being transformed with digital technology. Hope to see you again soon.